Good afternoon. Welcome to another The Madison View. My name is Ralph Scott. I would like to explain my viewpoint of the radical right and the radical left. And I'll start with the radical right. Okay. The radical right, as far as I can tell, what I've read, don't think that patriot blood should be diluted. Okay. And that's just covert speak, for they don't want immigration in this country. They want Americans to have babies, and how they're going to accomplish this is they would like abortion to end as well as contraception, and that would be tyranny. Okay, now what that would bring about is something unforeseen circumstances that they're just not thinking about, and here would be one of the things that would happen in a family. Okay, families would be probably over 6 kids, up to 6 kids or more. Okay, depending upon the male's fertility and, of course, the woman's fertility. But here's the thing. Here's the drawback to what no one's thinking about. The biggest irony, in my opinion, is the average people, 50% of the people in this country make $15 or less, $15 or less per hour. So that would mean that if you're in that category, there's no way your wife could work. You wouldn't be able to afford daycare. She would have to stay home and take care of the kids and the family, the house. Okay. And if you had $15 an hour and didn't have insurance, you would, you wouldn't be able to, if your kid got sick, you wouldn't be able to take to the doctor, and to put it in a morbid and actually bluntly honest point of view, and your kid would die, let's just say. And that would be heartbreaking. You bring a kid into this world and you can't provide for it to grow up because the means just doesn't exist for you to do it. And that's, in my opinion, it was heartbreaking, but it's extremely cruel. And here is where I'm going to inject the irony of the whole entire situation. At $15 an hour, there's no way you could raise children, a family of 6 on $15. This is no way. It's impossible. And here's what the left does. The left would provide you with food stamps and housing, etc., all kinds of subsidies. And that's something the right wing totally rejects. But that's what you would need if you were in that situation. And that's the irony of the whole situation. That's what makes it wrong. They're just not thinking clearly. They're thinking very irrational, in my opinion. Okay, now we take it back to the right. Then back to the left point of view. The left point of view is the United States is the bane of existence to the world. It's destroyed everything that's good in the world, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, and they're basically, from what I've read and everything, their manifesto is mankind's needs exceed the individual's needs and all this kind of stuff. Big time blow out of proportion stuff. But basically what they think is basically like a communist manifesto. The government has to provide you with a house, food, and health care, which is, there's no reason to work. The incentive to work is gone. That's what happens in a communist system. Because basically a communist system does not work. It falls apart because there's no incentive and no drive for you to get up and go to work. And we have historical proof right in front of our eyes. China was having a hard time feeding their people, so they imported Western capitalism and embraced it fully, and they started feeding their people better. So that's the whole entire what's wrong with the with the east with the left point of view is it's just unrealistic. I mean, just admit it. Without the United States in the world, where would we be at right now? Would it would be unknowable. I mean, it's just crazy. Okay, now, and therefore, like I say, my point of view is capitalism, and as many others in this country, is the best form of economics. Okay, with capitalism, there's only one thing that keeps you, or that keeps you from making a living. That's yourself. It depends upon your drive. It's how well you do in this country. And just another example of communism and capitalism. Well, under the left's agenda, the people with the higher IQs would go to school because they could better mankind, because supposedly they know how to figure out everything. But I mean, come on, let's get real. Let's look at capitalism. Okay, you don't have to be an Einstein, to make a good living and make a difference in the economy, let alone your own life. I mean, just think about it. There's people out there that make a big difference, and they're no Einstein. And that's the good thing about capitalism. With capitalism, the number one thing that balances the economy out is drive. If you got the drive, you can improve your family, you can improve yourself. And that's what every parent wants. Every parent wants to provide a good living for their kid and their family. That's what capitalism gives to you. It gives you the opportunity to take care of your family much better. And by going to work, et cetera, it adds more jobs because, just the way the system works. Okay. Now I'm going to stop right there on that podium and get to a little bit more of the current events that's going on right now. And one of the things I read is Florida Governor DeSantis said that the Revolutionary War was the start of the end of slavery, and he is correct. Okay. Now, a CNN analyst, or I don't remember who, said he was flat wrong, but actually they're the one that's wrong, because during the formation of this country, okay, revolution, etc., and under the Articles of Confederation, the United States was falling apart. Well, my forefather, James Madison, saw this, that the country was in disarray, and he saw that all those lives, and all the fighting and all the war, everything, the battles, the lives lost, the victories gained, to get our independence from England and to establish a country where we determine our own future instead of someone else, it was going to waste, and it was a shame. And there was all kinds of arguments at the time of slavery and, this, who should we have a president or should we have a king, it's all kinds of little nuanced arguments out there. But my forefathers saw there was a common thread between all the sides of arguments, and that was religion. So he introduced the Bill of Rights, of course, and in the first sentence, of course, the religious freedom, which united all the parties. Everybody agreed, and that established the United States. The Constitution was passed, and like I said, they were if get it passed. If the Bill of Rights hadn't been added to the Constitution, it never would have passed. And that's a great day. I don't know about you. That's a very good day because, like I said, without the United States, I just don't know where we'd be at in this world. It's a fantastic country. I just can't think of. I don't think I ever want to live in a country or live in the world, pardon me, that didn't where the United States didn't exist. Because I agree with my forefathers, James Madison, who said the United States should exist in perpetuity, meaning, the United States should exist forever. And that's something I agree with him totally on. I just couldn't even imagine life without. I don't think I even want to live in the world where the United States did not exist. And that's all I would like to say. Good night.